Okay, hello, I don't think I have anybody in chat, so I'm just going to start streaming anyway. Just pick up to where I was at, pick up from where I was at in terms of just trying to get registration working. So the story so far. So last week I was trying to get self-registration running. So I have a little self-registration form here on a service portal on my Snap service portal with a Snap registration page here. It has a little create player button which will go off and create a player record and apply the right roles to be able to play the game, and I also have a go to login page that will take you to the login page. It's a bit clunky. It was just trying to get effectively registrations to work. It remains a bit clunky, and this is where we're at the moment, trying to get this to run properly. So right at the moment, my big thing that I'm trying to work on is I'm trying to get my my login page to auto redirect. This is an incognito window here. I'm trying to get my login page to come up when you navigate to the URL. So here we have the PDI URL, and it's taking me to the login page of ServiceNow. Now, I've done some stuff on this a long time ago, but it's been a very long time since I've done login redirects. At one point I made a whole redirect app thing that would sort of intercept everything that would happen on the instance, every login attempt that would happen on the instance, and automatically redirect you to portals based on who you were. I, at the moment, am just trying to get this login page to be replaced. Now, I think from memory, and having had a little bit of a Google around, that the place that you do this is in this system property, glide entry page script, sp entry page get login URL, which sets the login URL for the instance. Now, theoretically, setting the get login page URL on this script include should cause the user to get redirected. So I'll show you what I've done here. So I've got this created as a global system property, and if I go /si, which is an SNUtil shortcut, / command, si for script include, and I put sp entry page in there as the entry page record that I want to get access to, and I hit OK. It will take me to the sp entry page script include. So let's crack this guy open. I'll just get rid of this the MFA apocalypse notification. Okie dokes. So I'm just going to click into edit mode on this record just in case we spot anything that we want to modify. It's a high risk file, so let's be super careful. So entry page script get login URL is the one that we're probably most interested in. This sp entry page get first page URL, I think we don't need to worry so much about that at the moment. Login page should be used, the starting page after the user is authenticated. We might revisit that in a little bit, because we might just want to force people to log into the force people to the service portal that we want to go to, the landing page. But anyway, so we're declaring the class. I've set this to, actually I thought I had set this to true. I'm going to set this to true now. I'm going to save the record. There we go, log variables. Let's double check where log variables is going, because that might be useful for us. Where is he? Up further. This.log variables. Okay, so let's see what that function does. Down we go. This log variables after session, if this.log variables gs log redirect URL. Okay, so it's doing some gs logs, so we might find that we are getting some useful log files. I'm just going to close off a few of these other windows, and I will, from here, I'll / command into log. So /log should give me my logs. Okay, so created, let's chuck them in order, created just now. Mon Dieu, there are a lot of logs. Let's see if we can get to the bottom of where these logs are going. So sp entry page, log. Let's use that string here, redirect URL. Okay, after session. SP entry page, cool. Okay, so that's probably the string we need to be looking for. And let's just do a real quick test here. So let's jump across to our incognito window, and we will invoke, theoretically we've invoked SP entry page at this point. I'm just going to jump back over here. Let's have a look at our logs, and we're looking for, and we can literally say last 15 minutes because that's all we really care about. Contains entry page, and let's do a search. So nothing appearing in the logs. GS logs, entry page, redirect. Okay, strip that out altogether. We don't care about that. Let's just have a look at. Let's remove some things here. Remove that about a minute ago, just now. UA, don't need that. All right, so we're well out of our window here, so none of these are related to what we're trying to do. Just make sure that I've got no source is not, okay, cool. Alright, so we're not seeing anything in the logs that is useful to us. Let's go back to our little window here, and we'll try, tell you what, we'll try a fresh incognito window, brand new fresh incognito window. And that's been definitely redirected to the login page. And let's have a look at our logs now. Refresh. Nothing of use. I get the impression that our SP entry page script is not executing. So what I might do, just right up the top, just going to chuck a gs.log. Entry page has run, KC for me. Just a little semicolon on the end, and we'll save that. And I'm editing in global, so that's useful to know. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to jump back over here. I'm going to refresh this. So did that cause anything to log? Let's have a look. Syscript. Oh, no, cannot convert null to an object. It might be me. Syscript. Oops, entry page. No, it's a business rule. Okay, cool. Weird. So some sort of nulling thing there. Okay, but either way, not my thing. It's not what that's not what's causing it. Back to entry page, refresh that. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I know no one's here and I'm just talking to myself, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some audio to this because it's quiet and I want some sound. So I might add some music. Just a sec. Let's see if that's done. I'm just flicking between my two scenes in OBS just to see what the difference is. I've got audio on the opening page, but why for no audio here? Media source. File. got it there, but it's not playing up. Do I have to hit the play button? No. Okay, seems to be playing, but the audio doesn't seem to be coming through. I'm gonna forget that. You're probably hearing it. It's probably something where it's like not monitoring to me, but you're probably hearing it. So I'll remove that just in case. There we go. Okay, dokes. Don't get distracted, Kevin. Focus. How do we get SP entry page to work? Okay. Just make sure I'm definitely in global. Let's start from the very start. So let's make sure that my system property for the login URL is correct, and maybe we'll add the other get first page URL one as well, just in case that's causing problems. Because usually you'd create both of these properties together, and you'd set these values together as well. Again, like this is quite an old part of ServiceNow, so it may very well have been replaced by now somewhere. But we will see. Okay, so we've got glide entry page script, we've got spentry page, get login URL. Let's check the syntax. Aha, new spentry page. So that may be the problem. We may have not called the script properly. So that may be it. So sys property has been modified. Yada yada yada. Let's jump over to, that might have been it. Might have been this might be a rubber duck situation. Hey, we got something. So it's now redirecting to ESC, but that's not what I want. I don't want ESC. I want snap URL suffix. Okay, so we've gotten somewhere. New SP entry page, get login ID, get login URL. So it's now doing the thing that we want it to do. So let's go to this guy. We've got him open, and let's go to this guy. Let's find get login URL and zero in on where the problem is. Get login URL. When requesting a page directly, platform session type, since we're heading the login, clear the value. So get sessions, nav2, all this starting page stack manipulation stuff that's happening, clearing nav2 properties, all of that stuff, all of the navigation wrapper that sits over the top, which has now been replaced with the now experience. So this is interesting, like nav2 is all different now. Welcome.do doesn't kind of really take effect now, so that's why I'm not sure how all this works. Session.put property starting page, gs.getProperty glide.login.home. I'm interested in knowing what that is, so give me a moment, we'll find out what that is. So /p for properties, glide login home. Okay, so I must have modified that. Default homepage login, displayed on login if blank, last page visited will be. Okay, I think that's okay. I fiddled with that a little bit earlier today. I think that's okay. If S page, if the starting page, if there's no starting page and no nav2 wrapper, or nav2 equals welcome, sorry, no nav2 page, then put the property, the page we want it to go to, which is fine. Like we've got a service portal page that we want to go to instead of one of these CMS old school jelly pages. Set the user to the portal's login page. So portal SP. Add query URL suffix this.portal replace. So we're replacing portal suffixes at this point. We're looking for not null on a login page, and we are querying if portal gr. This.portal. Where's portal come from? This.portal. This.get default portal. Okay, so this might be a problem. We might be getting the wrong default portal, and then that might be doing substitutions. So let's have a look at portals. We'll jump back here. We will go Let's strip out that from there so we get to our nav page. And let's have a look at portals. There's portals. Okie doke, so we have a default field on the portals. They can't both be true. Okay, so here's a problem. I have my SN app portal, which is a default portal, and Employee Center, like ESC, old school ESC, old school ESC, normal ESC, which is set as my default portal. So that's a problem. I want that guy, not that guy. So let's see if we can figure out how to unset this as default. This record is in the ESC core, but global is the default. Click here. Now, I think I tried this before. I can't inactivate it because it will lose its shit if I try and do that. Default portal cannot be activated. Fair. So how do I change the default portal? I might have to ask Mr. Google. ServiceNow, change default portal. Default portal to a custom portal. That's pretty much what we want. Let's see what community says. Srinivas says we have a default portal and a custom portal. It's redirecting to the wrong one. Complete. Someone please help. And Musab says check this out. And there's a knowledge base article. But Srinivas did not like that knowledge base article because it's not clear. It talks about role-based redirection. My requirement is to log in, yada yada. Jaspal Singh says, hi Srinivas, did you try setting it to default? Navigate to and set default to true. Navigate to service portal, search by default name and set default to true. This does not help either. Configure custom URL. Very few of those are actually useful. I think Jaspal's closest. Navigate to service portals. This was from 2022. And poor old Srinivas must have found the solution at some point, but we don't know what it was. So let's try some other things. How do I set? Okay, Employee Center standard as the default portal. So this is when Employee Center came out and it wasn't the default portal. SP was the default portal. This is also interesting, right? Because I thought that SP entry page was supposed to override portals. I feel like it does that at some point. Our tools got all the links. Yeah, okay. First page script I don't really... Less of a problem because I want to set the login to I want to set the service portal that I'm going to the default service portal, the ESC. I want to change that to service portal to my Snap portal. So if you remember, when I go here, it's setting the ESC portal and it's taking me to the login page. Neither of those things I want. I want it to set it to the Snap portal, and I want it to inherit this Snap portal's login page, which is my registration form. I don't want it to be doing anything else. So I don't think entry page is the problem. Sorry, the first page is the problem, which is this get first page. I think it's the login page where I'm getting the wrong portal. Let's look at a random knowledge article and see if it helps. How to set up portal redirection based on different roles. Okay, so this is interesting. So like I mentioned before that I once upon a time created a portal redirector system Like it was a whole table system, and like I reinvented user criteria. So as you logged into ServiceNow, the user criteria, my pretend user criteria would kick in, and it would start looking at an order of rules to see where you should be going, like a decision table, I guess. And it would say if you are in this group, then you get this service portal. If you are in this group, you get this service portal, and so on and so forth. It's up on my GitHub. Maligna is my username, and it's a service portal redirector app. It's about 7 years old now, so I have no idea if it still works, but it looks like it probably would, because SP entry page is still a thing. I implemented it at a customer that I was working for, like I was in-house support for a customer. It may still be there. I really don't know who's running the instance anymore, so I don't know if they're still using it. The use case was that we wanted to have there were two companies or two brands that were owned by the same parent company, all on the same instance, and we wanted a separate portal experience for the different people. So if you were company A, logging in as a franchisee of company A, you would be sent to company A's branded portal with company A's branded content, and likewise if you were company B. But it opened up a whole lot of other possibilities as well. So the redirect would look at groups, it would look at user values like a user criteria, and it would look at roles like a user criteria. It was effectively user criteria, and I didn't sort of make sense in my head that that's what I should be doing. So once you pass through the SP entry page and you are redirected to it's doing the portal substitution that's in SP entry page, it would start to look at who you were, the logged in user, and it would start to effectively do this stuff. Like it would do the if user has role, but it would do it based on a query of a rule table. So pull out the rule table, it would read the rule table, and it would try to match you against a condition. And if you match that condition, it would say this is the portal you get. And we also had a thing that would say whether you get to go to the back end or not. So if an admin logged in, it would hit the admin rule first, and it would go, aha, you get to go to the back end. But if you were a self-service user, like effectively a fulfiller, it would go, aha, you're a fulfiller, I'm going to send you to a company portal. And it had the effect of locking you out of the back end too. So if you were one of these users that got redirected to portal straight up, you weren't allowed to see anything else. It would always redirect you, which was desired at the time, but I don't know if it's always what everybody wants, to lock you out of the back end. So it was cool for that sort of stuff. We also found that we could go, okay, if you are from a particular location, like let's say you're from the state of Queensland here in Australia, and you log in, and we're trialing something for Queensland users only, then we would send you to a completely different portal to everyone else. So everyone else in the company, if they pass their company checks, would be sent to the normal portal. Everyone else would get the A/B testing portal, like the pilot portal. So we would use that to send people to pilot portals, and we would use that to roll out new capabilities on the portals slowly over time. So it was good for that. That was a clever use case for it, I thought, anyway. And the other thing you could do is you could lock everybody in the instance, except for admins, out of going anywhere at all, and just send them to a portal that was specifically for them. So very good for maintenance mode. So if I needed to say, all right, during this period of time, let's say we're doing an upgrade, no one can do anything. You can't log tickets, you can't see tickets, you are just sent to a portal that has a page on it, and that page says, sorry, we're under maintenance, which is really cool. The only trick with the app was if you put a rule that affected admins and it was above the first admin rule, and it said, lock you out of getting to the the service portal, or locked you out of getting to the back end, then you wouldn't be able to switch it back off again. So you had to be really careful about the rule order that you put them in, and just made sure that you weren't locking admins out of seeing anything. But the cool thing was it was all data, so you could just modify a data record and boom, that would take effect from that point forward. Anybody logging in would get it. So switching maintenance mode on and off, doing portal A/B tests, All of that stuff, pilot programs and everything was very simple because it was just data. You had to make no changes to code. The code was already set. The SP entry page was modified, and that already changed it. So it's the same sort of stuff that we're messing around with in this area. Yeah, we're interested in doing some sort of redirect. So again, I have gotten distracted again. Here's where we need to it's close, but I think we still just need to set the default portal because that's what's causing me my problems. I might try brute forcing it because why not? And I'll show you a little technique that I use to brute force code changes as an admin because I'm a cowboy like that. So I can't figure out. So we've got this is my employee center. I'm going to switch to the employee center application. So let's switch over there. So we're now in employee center context scope. I really want to change to make this not the default. And I can't see how to do it. Actually, before I start breaking ESC, let's go to my old portal, or my portal list. So we got 2 defaults. I don't know how that happened. That doesn't seem like a good thing. I should be able to change default somewhere. Maybe I try turning off my SN app as default first. So I'll switch into its context. Just test something, can I? Default portal cannot be inactivated. But why do I have 2 default portals? This shouldn't be possible. I wonder if it's a scope problem. Maybe it's because I created this thing in scope. I've got nothing there. No default thing. I'm just going to try something. I'm going to try another thing. In fact, this is just a test, and I'll chuck it in my SN app scope. My scope is getting pretty dirty. There's a lot of stuff in there that shouldn't belong because it's my PDI. Lots of weird stuff, but that's all right. This is not a production app, so my app doesn't have to be super clean. Testing default portal. Let's try this. Test default. Okay, I'm not setting the default there, so I'm going to save it. Gosh, enable certificate-based authentication using form layout to enable the feature. I don't know. Okay, so nowhere there does it say that it's a default portal or that I can set it as a default portal. There's nothing in my related, my context menu here. Nothing. How do you set something as a default portal? I feel like it should be a context menu thing, right? Let's try it. Portals. Why is that not even refreshing? Let's come back. Portals. That's better. Alright, so my test default portal has not done anything. I've got no menu item there. I've got nothing there. How do I set it as a default portal? Is it as simple as changing the tick box? Let's go to, what did I just click out of? This guy. Is it as simple as security prevents? And maybe, is that why it how did I even set that as a default portal? All right, cool. All right, it's time to test the nuclear option. So we're going to go into Employee Center. I don't know how to set a default portal. I feel like that either used to be easier or like is more obvious or something, but I'm going to switch to Employee Center Core. So SN Utils is doing a whole bunch of stuff. It's switching my context and reloading, which is great. SN Utils is the best. Now, I'm going to do something. SN Utils things, do not do this in a live environment. Do not do it in a environment where you care about quality and stuff. But I'm gonna go BG. Whoops. I'm gonna go SN Utils /BG. No, give me an empty. That's better. /BG, which is a slash command to open a background script. And I'm going to go C to invoke it with the current record. I'm going to guess that the field default is called default. So here we go. So what this has done is it's opened up a glide record in the background script interface. It's done a get straight away on the sysid of the record that I was on. So this is our SP portal record. And it does GS info, yada yada yada, right? So that's cool. I'm just gonna double check that current dot. Let's try this. I think this is right. Default. Probably like default. Let's see if that runs. I'll run that script. The hell is that? Business rule creates SP communication channel list. Nobody likes you. Background message. Employee center and true. Okay, cool. Background message type. This item is read only based on its protection policy. Oh. That's interesting. Is it? Nah, it's not. I can change that record value. Okie dokes. Let's do it. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to car.set value default, and I want to set it to false. Can probably be, because it's Boolean, that should be fine. And I'm going to go update, and I run that. Bang. It's done an insert to an update version. It's done a sysupdate version, update XML, and it's done an update to an SP portal record. So theoretically, if we go back to the portals list. Let's do it from here. Portals list. We only have one default portal, so I think that's good. That's what I want. So there must be a proper, like a sanctioned proper way to change the default portal for your instance, but I don't know, it wasn't obvious to me, and Google didn't help, and I'm too lazy to look deeper than that. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try refreshing. Hey, and we have Snap and then the Snap app registration. So success. We have now made it so that an incognito window, unauthenticated user who logs on gets sent to the Snap registration portal. Fantastic. The next thing I am going to do is I am going to register some people. So I've been doing ChatGPT. ChatGPT has been looking up Star Trek characters for me. So I have a list of Star Trek characters over on my other screen here that I can use. That's interesting. Uhura doesn't have a second name, according to ChatGPT. Uhura is just Uhura, like Spock is just Spock. But everyone else has got a surname. Data and Worf don't have surnames. Odo doesn't have a surname. Quark doesn't have a surname. Tuvok, Neelix, Kes, T'Pol. Interesting. There's a few people who are like, what is it, mononymic or whatever, like Sher and prints. Cool. All right, let's go James Kirk. So we have James Kirk, and we can probably clean up this little process a bit as well. James Kirk, Kirk at example.com. It doesn't really matter. 1, 2, 3 Star Trek. 1, 2, 3 Star Trek. Please don't abuse these. So create player. At the moment, as it stands, we'll create the user, primary email device created for Kirk, and then it will redirect you to the login page, which is fine. But I think I wanna, now that I've sort of put the login prompt, the login widget on the same page, so I don't actually have to do that anymore. Like I don't have to redirect you away, and I don't have to have this go to login. I think I can probably just have you log in there. It's probably like a moth to the flame in terms of like hackers DDoSing the system, like pumping users into the user table. So I mean that's not great. It's not great, but maybe I can do something about rate limiting or something. I probably can actually, because a service portal record, when it runs, I think it's the server scripts. It's effectively performing an API call against the widget. The widget is effectively an API. I suspect I can probably rate limit the server scripts on a widget. This is just me guessing. I don't know, but maybe we'll look at that, because maybe I don't want people to, destroy my PDI through doing like registrations in this user table. So, okay. So anyway, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that redirect from the create player script. Again, this is portal widgets. I'm not great at portal widgets. Somebody shared a really good diagram of the order of like execution of things in portal widgets, which was really good. I think it was Earl actually. Earl UK shared this great diagram, so I might dig that one up. In fact, I'll dig it up now. I'm going to say that was on the Slack channel, so I'm going to go over to the Slack channel and I'm going to have a look at. Hopefully, it's not gone by now. Was it Slack? Portal. Yeah, understanding the data/input object in service portal widgets. I'll bring this across because this is a really cool article. Here we go. To teach it once a month. Yada 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 yada. Okay, excellent. So we have I'm going to zoom in a bit because my eyesight is starting to fail. Whoops. Okay, cool. So the server script runs first. Data object is initialized, so effectively, like I sort of see this as like a script include sort of thing, right? So it exists. It's like an Ajax, almost an Ajax script include. So it exists here. It can take all of these inputs from the client script, which is true by the HTML. This is all the stuff that gets delivered to the client, I believe, like to the browser. So client scripts and HTML templates. And then they effectively, whenever they're doing these calls, they are making an API call, like effectively the equivalent of a REST call, HTTPS call, whatever you like, to the server script to execute it. So this is the thing I think can probably be rate limited, this call to the server script. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. We'll find out. So the page loads, the data object is initialized. So we have a data object here that is sort of existing on the server. And the data is available in scope. I don't know how that works. It just becomes, it's a thing, it just becomes. So it's different, right? Data object here is different to $scope, $data. It must be being translated somewhere. I don't know. Probably people know, well, definitely people know better than I do. And then it becomes available as callable data in the HTML template, and then you can, once it's updated from there, then you can trigger your $scope, $server, $update. So $scope, $server, $update, and then it becomes an input for the data, the script. So the script runs again at that point, right? So effectively, I think you're executing API calls. See if there's anything more in here. Runs on the server, initializes or updates data. Client script runs in the browser, sees $scope, and can interact with the user, update things on the screen, and crucially send information back to the server using server update. Kinds of scripts in a widget. Server script runs on the ServiceNow server and initializes or updates data. Client script call. Hello from server. Client controller, API.controller. Server says that. Server messages that. Okay, no one wants to watch me read a document, so that's fine. This send to server, I'm sure that's an API. Effectively an API call. Because this was a couple of, I don't know, like maybe 6 months ago, maybe 9 months ago, there was a big security thing that was widget related, where somebody could abuse the, one of the widgets, I can't remember which, but like some data lookup widget that was able to just do arbitrary lookups on data in the back end. I feel like they were using, like when you read through the write up on it, it looked like they were able to call a widget as an API, like the server side part of a widget as an API call, as an HTTPS call. So I'm pretty confident that you can just do that. And if you can do that, you probably can rate limit it, because it's probably treated the same as any other API call. Probably, maybe, who knows. Doing out my shoelace because I won't trip over. Sorry. So look, let's see. Who knows? Clients, recaps, data flows. Okay. Nothing in there about widgets as APIs. Cool article, but I really should read it properly at some point. Okay, so what was I going to do? I was going to edit my widget, wasn't I? So let's go and find my page. So on my portal pages, where is he? Portal pages, portal pages, portal pages, pages. Is that easier? It's better. Service portal pages. There we go. And we want the registration page. And let's open it in Designer. Okay, and this is the guy that we want. So you can see here we've got the login page that is just rendering on the same page. I think that's a must-have, or else the SP entry page fails. It was in some of the documentation I was reading. One of the KB articles said that it has to have the login, like to put the login page on the portal, it needs to have the login widget. So I'm like, okay, I'll put the login widget on, which means that I no longer have to do all these redirect things. So let's have a look at the code. All right, we need to switch context, so let's do that. We need to go snap, snap. Let's try again. Stop it, open in platform. I close my background script because I don't need him. I'm going to close that sysprop, entry page, and all those Googles as well. Oh man, that's not what I want. Just open the, I want to edit the widget is what I want to do. How do I edit the widget? I haven't done a lot of service portal stuff. I thought I could do it from the designer. Go away. All right, let's go another way then. Let's go widgets. Let's find a widget. Come on. Widgets. Go away. Widgets. Service portal widgets. So I think I was editing the instance, which is not what I want. Snap. SN. SN app. Snap registration form. So let's crack that guy open. Updated 7 days ago, that makes sense. want to see it in the editor because this is no good. Widget editor, there we go. Ah, so it opens that same interface. Okay, fine. Okey-dokes. Alright, cool. Alright, so the thing I want to kill, a couple of things I want to kill. I don't need this anymore, so I'll take that out. So goodbye, go to login page. I don't need this anymore, so I'll kill the redirect to login page, I think. Save it, let's see if it works. Bang. Okay, go to login page is gone. Fantastic. Create player, so that's this guy. Where's he? He's like literally the whole thing. There we go. Basic client side check for matching passwords. Passwords do not match. This guy. I'm going to try something else actually. So I'm going to try and add something else. This is me going off script and not really knowing what I'm doing in Portal, so bear with me. I'm going to go c.data. No, I'm not. I'm just going to go data because it's created. It's a part of the thing. Well, this is ES12 too, ECMAScript 2021. I know nothing about ECMAScript. I don't write code really that much anymore, or kind of very much, full stop. So this will be interesting. It's been a while since I've written anything. So I'm going to go data dot is user created. Why doesn't it like that? Equals false. Do I have to declare it? I don't even have to declare it, do I? Okay, cool. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going to create a is user created flag field, like a Boolean, on this page that says whether or not I'm going to effectively I want to hide the widget altogether, or like make it read only. I want to. In fact, all I'll do is I'll disable the button. That's what I'll do. I'll disable the button, and maybe I'll try and make these guys read only or something. So I want to say is on load of the sheet. I want to have I haven't created a user yet, so therefore the registration form is live and active. You can use it, and then once the create player has been done, I want to set that to true so that we can then start to control parts of the HTML. I think that will work. We will see. So then we want to go at the end of that. Create this is user record if no duplicate found. It's possible I don't want data. It's possible I want scope or something, but we'll see. I don't really know. I should really be doing a lot of this stuff in Flow, I think, maybe. But it doesn't matter. Like, it'd be good for this to just call Flow so that I can control all of that, because I prefer Flow, but I think it's okay for it to exist here. Again, like, this is effectively callable as an API arbitrarily. So I think, yeah, I feel like effectively the create player function, this guy, is a callable API, I think. Be good to have somebody who knew more about this stuff in the chat. I've got no one in the chat. I'm all alone. But that's okay. Data result, success. Data is user created, true. And then if I want to cheat a bit, I'm going to ask ChatGPT for some help here. Here we go. Hello ChatGPT. Yo, I'm doing some work in a... You want to see all my weird game development Fmod stuff, so I'll pull it away. I'm doing some work in a ServiceNow service portal widget where I want a data object on the server called to hide an HTML element on HTML code. Hope that's good enough for it. Okay. Seems a little too easy. Okay, I probably want this ng disabled. Right, and it's checking the true false value of it. Okay, I feel like that's actually it's too simple. A little too easy, right? But let's go with it. I think he just wanted me to put it in after the click, is that right? After the click. What did you want? After the click? Yeah. ng-click.c create player. Okay, cool. I'm gonna, if it's that easy, I'm gonna say, okay, so I also have some form group divs that I to disable under /make read only under the same circumstances. Cool. Isn't that interesting, right? So it's extrapolated here. So it's looked at the name of the button. It's looked at create player, because I posted that code in there, right? I said, here's create player. I haven't mentioned that it's a game or anything, but the click operation is called create player. The button is called create player. And I've got his user created. And then it's extrapolated from that, and it's gone, well, you're using it's player name, must be player name. Player level, must be player level. So it's just extrapolated, and it's decided, oh, I think actually this must be a game. I had a really interesting example of that the other day. Oh, hello, Will. Sorry about the weekends. Yep, no, it's a bit tricky. This has been my quietest stream. Very few people in. In fact, you're it. So you're my sole patron at the moment. Last week I had a few. I had I think 4 or 5 people, but yeah, no, it's cool. I kind of do these for myself more than I do for anybody else, I guess. It's just to make me do things, make me work on things. So hey. I was just going to say I had an interesting experience recently where I do this thing called a game jam every year, which is making a video game over the course of a weekend with a temporary team of 5 to 10 people usually. We had a big team. We had a 10 person team. Doesn't really matter, but I was working in Unreal for the first time instead of Unity, 2 different game engines. and I was doing some debugging of something where I sort of was talking about a UI. Oh, hey Christy, welcome. So I was doing some UI work in Unreal, and I said to ChatGPT, I'm working in Unity and I'm having a problem with this part of the UI. And then it started describing what the problem was, and I said, oh no, and here's the other elements of it. I kept going. I said, there's a like a canvas, and there's certain things, certain objects that you have in the UI system in Unreal, and it's gone. Oh, I'm sorry. Must be my bad. I think I misunderstood. I thought we were working in Unity, not Unreal, but because it's Unreal, this is how you would solve it. So I figured out from context that I'd been wrong, and then it apologized for being wrong itself, which I thought was very cute of it to do, but it didn't need to. It was my mistake. So I said, sorry mate, it's my mistake. You didn't need to correct yourself there. I see. Oh, Godot is a very popular platform at game jams. A lot of the cutting edge indie developer guys are really spending a lot of time on Godot. There were heaps of people doing Godot projects, so that's pretty fun. I haven't had a crack at Godot yet. I've done Unreal, I've done Unity, and I did a project last year. I did a game at the Game Jam which was all Node.js. There was no game engine at all. We made a smart speaker. We had a little tiki statue. Got a Raspberry Pi, and we embedded it inside the statue with a microphone and a speaker, and got it to play a version of Cards Against Humanity, effectively, as the game master against 4 players that could connect over their mobile phones. It was pretty fun. And it would read out the prompts, it would listen for laughter and record how much laughter there was, and then figure out what the highest decibel level was, and the person who got the loudest response was the person who won the round. It was pretty cool. Godot's easy to prototype in. Yeah, cool. That's good to know. I actually quite enjoyed Unreal this year for a couple of reasons, and I didn't enjoy it for another couple of reasons. Unreal, the blueprinting system is really cool. Like it's a low code, no code visual scripting engine. So I see a lot of parallels. Like all of these applications have a lot of parallels with what our enterprise software does. We have Flow Designer, they have blueprints. Blueprints are inputs and outputs and operations, and they're effectively APIs that are hidden behind a visual scripting engine. So I think that stuff's really, really cool. It's really interesting how different industries implement effectively the same concepts. So it's pretty cool. All right, so we'll back to our service portal page. So effectively, I'm setting up my my self-registration so that people can actually play the game properly. So I've got a form on, and I'll just click over here. So I've got a service portal page, Snap service portal. I've got a registration page set up where you can create your user account. Create Player will create the user record and roll it properly so that you can use it. And then we've got the login page. At the moment, what I'm doing, and I'll show you how it works. Let's go for, I'm doing Star Trek users at the moment. So Montgomery Scott, and we'll go Scotty at Star Trek, typing StarTrek.com, and we'll go 123 Star Trek, 123 Star Trek, and we will create the player. It goes off and creates the player record, and then at the moment it's redirecting me to the login, and I don't want that. I want to keep it on that page, so we're just updating this page so that it stays in the right spot. Earl, actually, I was mentioning your blog post that you put up about the data objects and service portal stuff earlier. This guy here, let me bring it in. Oh, it's a different browser, so it's going to freak out. So yeah, this diagram was really, really helpful to me. I've not done enough service portal stuff really to understand anything, but this was quite a useful diagram, this about the server scripts, client scripts, and the HTML scripts. One thing that I'm looking at maybe doing with this project, just because I'm putting a public portal page that lets you create records. I would like to see if I can rate limit this interaction, this stuff here, because I understand that a server script effectively operates somewhat as an API. So if it's an API, presumably that means I can rate limit calls to it. So I'd like to make it so that, you know, an IP address that's calling this or accessing the HTML template can really only do 1 or 2 user creations before it gets rate limited for, like, you know, half an hour or something like that, just so I don't DDoS my system. So that's one thing I've got in the back of my head. Is something I want to have a look at in a moment. Yeah, so great blog post. I saw that one come up like literally, I think it was like the Tuesday after I did this stream last week when we were doing this portal, setting up this portal page. So yeah, timely, but it's good. Okay, so back to my little thing. Where's my GPT window gone? Did I close it? No, there's my GPT window. So GPT is telling me that I can set ng disabled on a form group. Cool. And I can just chuck that straight after the model. Okay, cool. So that should be easy. I'll just chuck that in each one of these. So is it after the model? Gosh, my brain is like a sieve. ng model, ng disabled. Cool, I can do that. Bang. Let's get that tabbed in properly. Going to do the same, isn't it? Thanks very much. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to set it so that my once I've clicked create user, then it disables the form effectively at that point, because you know you don't need to do it again, mate. You've already done it. And how I'm achieving that is by setting this data object to is user created. I think that will work. I don't know if it like will rerun this this every time any operation is done from here, but I'm hoping it does. Cool. Thanks, Earl. Cool. I think actually just Earl's mentioned if you wanted to stop it from like just spamming the user table, stop it creating a user that already exists. I do have that function in here. So again, a lot of this code was written by GPT. Not too bad at writing service portal widgets, so ChatGPT managed to do that properly. Okay, so I think we're good. I think I'm going to save that. And I think effectively what this means now, I've got my is data, where is he? Data is user created. I set it to true down here if I'm successful in creating a user. And then I use that data object in my HTML to disable all of the inputs. Hopefully all of them. Not all of them. I've missed one. Disable the inputs. And also disable the button. Let's save that. We'll go back over to the incognito window and let's strip all of that out. So a couple of things. Back to GPT can come over here and it can give me some more Star Trek people. Let's do Wesley Crusher. Shut up, Wesley. At StarTrek.com. Just take that. Where's 123? Where's 123? Actually, no, I'll do Star Trek just in case there's a password policy on the database or something. 3. Create player. Superb, look at that. But it's still doing the redirect. Okie doke, so I want to kill that redirect. I thought I'd already killed the redirect. No, there it is. Okay, cool. Let's kill it there manually. Excellent. Which is just public inquiries data from tables. Thank you, ServiceNow. Probably should be a red info message there. Oi, this is public. What are you doing? Registration. Next person. Jadzia Dax. Jadzia Dax. Dax at what was it? ds9.com. Star Trek 123. Star Trek 123. Create player. Okay, no redirect occurs. Username, Star Trek 123. Login. Login successful. And it sends us to the portal. Fantastic. Okay, cool. Alright, so this is okay. This is okay. I think the thing that I don't like at the moment is the fact that it's taking me to the nav page. I don't want my users on the nav page. I think that's something that SP entry page can do. Again, this is ancient knowledge that I don't really remember too well. Script sync. I don't want that happening. Cool. Okay. Oh, it's probably script sync from this, wasn't it? Yeah, it's probably SNUtils trying to do something with VS Code or something. Okay, cool. So we've moved on from the widget. The widget's kind of doing everything that I want it to do. The service portal page, like it could use some skinning and everything. It could use some branding to make it look snappy. But I think I'm comfortable with that functionally now. But I do not like that the nav page is getting embedded on the user screen. I think the stuff that we were doing before in SP entry page has something to do with the, like, I remember you embed the nav page for certain users and not for other users. You can send people to proper service portals without wrapping it in the nav page. I think there's something in that here. So we have the portal. Or actually, I suspect maybe, because I did set this value before, and I think historically this guy is, if there's versions for it, hopefully there are, no. Default homepage displayed on login. That could be interfering with it at the moment. This is a global system property that I was fiddling with before. I think this might be changing it. Let me try something. I'll take that out. I think it's welcome.do. I might be wrong. Let me just check that it's not got slashes and what have you. What was it before? Yeah, it does have slashes. Let's try this. I can't remember what this looks like by default. I shouldn't have fiddled with it. Let's jump out of Jadzia Dax. Alright, let's see the login screen. Yeah, it's redirecting all fine. Perfect. Okay, Tasha. Tasha at tng.com. Star Trek 123. Star Trek 123. Passwords do not match because I can't type. Star Trek 123. Star Trek 123. Create player. Success. Tasha. Oops. Tasha at tng.com. Star Trek 123. Login successful. Redirect. Is it freaking out? It must be that system property then. Welcome. Okay. Welcome.do. Okay, so that system property is literally what's setting that redirect. And I'm getting welcome.do. Okay, cool. So that's good. We're in the right spot. We'll edit that again. Or we're like in a spot anyway. I'll put that back in because it's not terrible, but it's not exactly what I want either. Okie dokie. Okay. Okay, to be honest, I think this might be the point where I need to start doing stuff with this property and setting the new SP entry first page URL. So I'm just going to start doing that now. So I'm going to make sure I'm in global, because if I don't go in global and I start creating system properties, it will put the suffix or the prefix of my scope on there, and I don't want that. Boom. Whoops, I want to /p for that, /properties, bleh. /p, glide first page, whatever it is. Okay, it doesn't exist, so I'm going to create it. I'm going to give it that URL. And so I don't have my prefix there, I had that problem earlier, and I want to call this script. Submit. Cool. And then in this script, what are we doing? Forget first page. We are doing all the nav page stuff. Has roles and is not a service portal page. Go to. Where's has roles? Okay, cool. So this is where I want to say if you has roles of being like basically the player role, then I want to redirect you to the service portal. I don't want to allow you to get to the back end. Well, let's see what that does just with the property. So I'm just gonna again I'll log out of Tasha. Log out Tasha. There you go. And let's do Jake Cisco. Jake Cisco. Jake at ds9.com. Star Trek 123, Star Trek 123, create player. Check it, DS9, Star Trek 123. Login successful. Hey, that's done it. That is exactly what I want. It takes me to the portal. The portal is, it strips out the nav bar. Perfect. Let's try going to one of my UIB pages and see if they work as well, or if we're going to have problems because the portal and UIB maybe don't like each other. Let's see. UIB, Dex to edit. Welcome, Jake. You can now manage your decks below. Okay. Cool. Okay, so he can get to the deck editor and he can start a game and it'll take him to the debug page, but the debug page is broken. Okay, so there's a bug there where I need to fix that. And there's some other access bugs, but we are making steady progress here. This is good. I might fix the debug game redirect just for now. It doesn't, because we won't use the debug game. That'll go at some point. We'll get rid of the game debugger at some point. But we're in UIB now. UIB. I think it's getting about time to finish up. It's been an hour and a half-ish, so we won't be here for much longer. So I'll use SNU tools because I know the UIB shortcut a little bit better. Okay, right, without getting distracted, SN app, we want to go to, oh, it's a portal page. What am I talking about? It's not at all. It's the portal landing page. So we're going to pages. It's not UIB at all. It's portal pages. So we're going to our portal page, which is where service portal pages. There it is. And we want the landing page, and I tell you what, we'll just fix that link for now. I think that's all we need to do, and then we'll skedaddle because it's been a long stream and it's almost playable. It's getting there. SN app, landing page, not public but port player facing. That's good. We want to go to Open in Designer. We want to edit this guy, and we just want to take out that Marvel prefix. Leave the SN app there. We'll save that. Cool. And like just one other thing I just want to check. I want to check what Deck Builder looks like. Yeah, okay. Next week I probably need to rebuild Deck Builder in UIB. I need to work on that interface because the Deck Builder interface for players, I shouldn't be giving them access to lists. I think we could probably do this better because this is if we look at it, let's have a quick look at the Deck Builder. If we look at is that literally actually even Deck Builder? SN app decks to edit. I think it's a different decks to edit. It's a different page. So decks to edit probably needs a rebuild. No, not Deck Builder, decks to edit. So yeah, so what's this guy? It's a heading, fine. It's a list, which, is also fine, I guess. It's also fine. But what I think I probably want is a repeater that's showing the same data resource. That's probably what I want. I probably want a repeater showing the same data resources. I probably want to have some big fat buttons up the top that say, am I creating a new deck or am I creating a new deck? Like just a create new deck button. And I probably want to have like the repeater do an edit. I'm very tempted to just do it. Maybe we just do it. Yeah, maybe we just do it. Okay, so we're editing the decks to edit page. Let's see, what do we got body wise? We've got, that's a modal. Okay, we can keep the modal. Modal's good. I don't mind a modal. We've got column layout, stylized text up the top. We've got a heading. What's the stylized text doing? You can go. Oh, and we're in the wrong scope, so let's switch scopes again. Where's something good to switch scopes? There's an app. We'll refresh this guy because now he'll pick up the scope properly. Okay, so we don't want the modal, we want to focus on this. We can probably kill this stylized text. I don't know why he's there. Text, create deck ID. What is he doing? What are you doing? What does it look like to the user? Is that a debugging thing that I did? Why did I do that? Bind text to create deck ID. Create deck ID. What is that? Client state. Client state parameter. I'll bet it's a debugger. I bet that's what that is. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna delete it because maybe, you know, who knows? Maybe it's there for a reason. I'll just hide it. That's fine. Components are hidden. I like all of this stuff, all of these little warning things that it now gives you about like how badly designed your page is. As much as UIB is very hard to kind of get your head around and get working well and like understand and everything, it's like they're putting a lot of work into it. I do appreciate that. And I like what you can do with it, but also, wow, it's so hard to learn. It's one of those, I love it, but I can see why people don't. Heading 2, list. Okay, so effectively we're going to replace this list thing. So we've got kind of two things. Let's add a container. So we're going to go, God, is it containers these days? I can't even remember. Let's go single column, whatever, single column basic, column layout. Okay, so we're going to call this one button container. To be honest, one of the hardest things about UI Builder is like having to just name everything, especially if you've got lots of components that are effectively the same thing. If I show you the game space, you'll see like everything I had to name. L1, like level 1, location 1, player 1, location 1, player 2, location 1, player 3, not player 3, other way around. Location 1, player 1, location 1, player 2, player 1, all that. So all the combinations, having to name them all by hand was really painful. It'd be cool if I could do something where it just automatically kind of infers the name based on the parent. Like it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you'd even do something like that, but it would be cool. All right, so we've got our buttons. Let's start adding our buttons. Let's just add our button. Buttons are cool. Button. And we're gonna go create a new deck, create deck, apply, and like we literally need it to do what that does. So let's steal what that's doing. So it's under events, I'm sure. New record button clicked, open or close modal dialog. Sure, okay. Reference link clicked. Link to destination. Okay, this is easy. This is probably not that hard actually. It's probably one of the first things I built in UI Builder, and so like I think I know a bit more now. So I probably I was just throwing lists and just basic stuff at it, but I think I can probably just out of the gate make it a little bit nicer. So we've got create a deck, label, variant, positive primary or something. It's green, cool. That's nicer. Let's make it big button. Let's put an icon on it, plus, don't know what looks good, maybe just a big thing. Oh, and yeah, create a new deck. Cool, alright, that's fine. Probably like align it to the middle or something. This is one thing that I struggle with, is the flexbox stuff and the alignment and UI stuff. It's a bit tricky. but it's fine. We've got no new error. Button needs at least one event. Cool. See, that stuff's cool. Like it's warning me about like stuff I haven't wired up, which, you know, it's hard to know what's wired up and what's not. So I want to open modal, open or close modal. It has come a long way. Create deck confirmation modal. Sure, cool. Add. I guess the next thing I want to do is I want to add another container. And in the container, this is going to be my deck repeater. Deck container, because it's not the repeater yet. Deck container. Apply. Alright, and what we're putting inside that, go away modals, nobody likes you. We want to put a repeater. Oh, I don't know. Record related list repeater? No. Accordion item repeater. Accordion item repeater for the individual filter attribute checkboxes. Presets. Checkbox repeater. To be honest, I probably don't want to use a preset. I want my array to be how do I do this again? Oh, I don't want to data bind it, of course. Again, it's been a minute. Alright, so we want a data resource here. What have we got? Get user. Okay, cool. Okay, so we need a data resource because we haven't got one yet. So we've got create record, get user. We need a get data, get list of data, get records. So we're gonna do get records. Oh man, come on, what's it called? Oh, querying and updating records. There we go. Look up multiple records. That's what we want. Look up records, and we'll call this get user dex. Get user dex. And what do we want? We want to grab a few fields. Oh, okay, so we're immediately getting it. Yeah, why not? Yeah, immediately is good. We're going to get dex. We want player dex. Fantastic. We want to set our conditions. So we're going to edit the static conditions. We are going to grab, no, we're not going to grab deck name. We're going to go player is, and we want to bind that to our data resources for get user, results, items, results, row data, probably sysid. There we go, unique ID, apply. Did that bind? Did you bind? Data resource, get user, results, row data, unique value. Put it up there, click that icon, put it up there, apply. I think that's new. I think it's slightly changed. There we go. Okay, so now we're immediately getting the dex. We can get some fields, so we can start to add created, deck name, player. That'll probably do us. So we're grabbing some data for it. Sweet. And that's probably enough. We can now probably data bind our data resource, get user dex, results, apply. Oh, I didn't do it. Again, I didn't press the button. Data resource, get user dex, results, up, apply. What? Get user dex, JSON. Data array. Data resource, get user dex, results. There we go, apply. That's better. Okay, next thing we want to do is on the, so we've already got the repeater. So next thing we want to do is we want to add like a, let's say card. Card is good. Cards are clickable. Card. Card-based container, I think, is what we want. I think. And then we start to add some content. So stylized text. And we can grab, we don't want to go away, we don't want to, how do I skip them altogether? Do I have to press cancel every time, do I? Okay. Alright, so I'm going here and I'm data binding that to a repeater. Value deck name, there we go. And we chuck that up into the binding, apply. I had to sort of double click there, which was interesting. And we can save that. And we can add the, oh, hang on. That's not a clickable card. That's a clickable card. Events. It's not a clickable card. Alright, something is amiss there. I have the wrong type of value, wrong type of record, so let's try that again. Add after. A carousel would be cool too. Maybe a carousel is better. Let's just get it running first. So let's get something in. I'm sure it's card. I'm sure it's one of these. Is it a template card? Summary of an assist record. That's pretty. No, that's not what I want. I can't remember what they're called. I've definitely used them, like I've used cards everywhere throughout this app, so I can probably go and find another one somewhere. But effectively there's a component that has a click event that lets you open things. I thought it might have been this. Container for specific information in a scannable format. Contact card. Contact card. Is it a container? Is that what I'm looking for? Is it a flavor of container? Card-based container. Well, that is a card-based container, but it's not eventable. Let's take a very quick sidebar into like Deck Builder, for example, because Deck Builder definitely has clickable cards, and we might be able to infer what the component is supposed to be. That's the card image, but it's not what I want. Card to add. That's not the thing with the click event. Where are you in the sidebar? Card to add. Card to add events. Card clicked. What component are you? What flavor of component are you? card-based container. It is the right component. Okay, well let's go back to Dex to edit and let's have a look at that component and see what that component actually does. See if I've got it wrong. So maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. Events. Oh, add mapping event. Ugh. Okay, cool. All right, no worries. Okay, cool. So configure large card interaction click. Yes, that's what we want. Let's add a click event to it. Card clicked. Okay. My bad. We want to do the same thing that was happening in the list. So on the list we have reference click, link to destination, deck builder. Makes sense. Okay, so on our card-based container, we want link to destination. Card clicked. Continue. Link to destination. Continue. Probably need to know where I'm going. Pages and current experience, in fact. We probably want deck builder, and we want the deck ID to be repeater value row data unique. Double click, apply, select, add, link to destination. Just double check that that link to destination is the same. Deck builder, yep. Change deck ID, payload.sysid. Payload. I guess because you're clicking on a list object and the list object is going to have a payload associated with it. I think I'm okay. I think I think the repeater is going to grab the sysid from the data resource that it's grabbed. So I think I'm okay. Let's see what happens when we save that and refresh for our Jake, whatever his face is. Okay, so he's got a button. Jake's first deck. Now, here's the question. Are we going to start running into ACL problems and what have you? Create deck. Did that create a deck? Who knows? Did that button get mapped to anything? Open or close mode, or also while I'm in here, we'll fix the fact that there's a dead button on the modal as well. Delete. We don't want that. Save. Alright, well, let's have a look and see if on our database whether old Jake has got a deck created. He didn't get redirected properly. Oh no, he didn't create the deck to edit. So something skew if, but did he get, oh beautiful, here's studio, right? So this will give us the deck definitions. Play a deck. We want view list, show list. He did not create a deck. Create new deck. Jake's deck. Create button. Create deck. Does he have no rights to do that? Is that the problem? Deck builder. Create deck. Test. Jake. Create deck. Okay, interesting. Okie dokes. So, what does that create deck button actually do? Execute data record, create record. Player is props deck name, and it's in the player deck table. Player deck table. Okay, I think this is probably an ACL problem. I reckon he doesn't have rights to create that record, and so it's not allowing him to. I also think that button clicked thing also probably, we could do something fun where we put the we put a record watcher or something on that record, and then when the record renders, we link them to the destination, so we automatically redirect them to the deck editor. We could do something like that. Alternatively, there's effectively not quite a watcher. There's not a watcher, but there's a getUserDex data resource. We could probably put a watcher on the getUserDex, so the watcher updates the getUserDex data resource when it's up and running. So I'll have to remember all this for next week, because I'm probably not going to finish it today. But I'm going to just one more thing, because we're very close to having Jake actually able to create his decks. Let's see if we need an ACL on the player deck table, because I think we might. So we go to player deck table. In fact, we're here right now, so we could probably go configure access controls, security rules. Now I'm probably not elevated, so I'll elevate, secadmin, update. Into wherever we were. Don't need that, don't need that. Oh, where'd I go? There we go. ACLs in Studio, obviously, of course we're in Studio. Probably refresh Studio. It's probably going to lose my context. PlayerDex. And we probably want a... I'm just going to do it this way, because why not? Configure security rules. New. Allow if and deny unless. That's interesting stuff. So we want record create, allow, and we want it for the players. So star player, flow player. Okay, so that's fun. Continue. And just as a spot check, I guess. Do I need to log out and log back in for an ACL change? Who knows? Jake, create deck. Back to this. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I thought it was creating it on the right table. Player deck dot not none for record create. Sure. Submit. Continue. We probably want read on that as well. Read done none. Insert with roles, continue. We probably want read dot star maybe. Actually, yeah, so I want security attribute condition. I have no idea what that is. Data collection, no idea what that is. Data conditions are normal. Okay, so player is dynamic me. Is that going to work? It's dynamic me. Alright, let's Let's try that again. Okay, so we have why does the ACL form take so long to load? Alright, record.none, read record.none is player, with player is dynamic me, fine. And read.star is what we want if player dynamic is me, file save. Fine, okay. Cool. Let's go back to Jake. Let's try Jake test 2, create deck. Let's double check the, close those ACLs down. Let's have a look at the table. Did we create a record? Okay, cool, you can create records. Can't write, can you write to fields? Why didn't it get that? Oh, it's got an error, no preview. Player was invalid. 007. Ah, okay. All right, so that's a problem up here then. That's a problem it's a problem in the portal. The portal is passing the wrong sysid through to the parameters, and this is the create button is doing something funny with the mapping. Player is props user ID. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this data resource to the lookup user record ID. So I'm going to kill that. And I'm going to add that and apply that and apply that and apply that, and I'm going to save that. I'm going to jump back over to my friend Jake on his page. Okay, interesting, we're getting there, we're getting close. Jake test 3, Jake test 3, create. Okay, we're getting there, we are getting very close. So I think we now have in the table, if I refresh this, Jake test 3, still broken. No value retrieved. Something wrong with this button. Edit fields. Let's unhide my debug thing here because I want to know some stuff. So I will set the hide component to off. I'll take this text and I'm going to use instead get user results raw data unique value. Is that what I did before? Apply. Is that what I did in the button? Resource lookup user. Let me try. I'll put a debug here actually. I'll go add after Stylized text, cancel the preset, and I will data bind it to data resource, get user, results, raw data, apply, save. Create deck, refresh. Create deck. Where's my data binding? Where's my data binding? Theoretically, that should concat. Yep, beautiful. Save. Modal ID. ID's not coming up. Get users not being called. Okie dokie. There's probably another way. There's probably literally a data type page properties session user sysid. It's even better. Session user sysid. This will mean, like, if I do this will mean that this deck selector is only available to the logged in user, so I won't be able to use it as an admin to select decks to edit. But I think I'm at the point where I probably don't need that admin feature anymore. And if I do, I'll just rebuild it. Okay, cool. So, all right. So what we're doing now is we're gonna clobber the whole of that. We're gonna chuck the sysid session user sysid. We're gonna throw that in there. That's now setting that. Fine, cool. I can probably kill that now, but I won't until I've tested. I need to change the button so that the button now uses data bind to data type sessions user sysid. There we go. Apply, save. All right, now I think it will work. Refresh. Create new deck. Okay, we got a sysid. Jake's test for create deck. Come on. What's it doing? Something wrong. Is it supposed to kill the modal? I thought it did. Open, close modal. It's done, right? It's added. Oh. Add handler. Close modal. Add. Save. Refresh. Create deck. Test Jake 5. Close the modal, so it's executed something. Back to studio, clunk, clunk, refresh. All right, it's stopped creating records now, so something is screwy. But it does have the sysid, so that's a good thing. So execute data resource, field values. Did I screw something up? Did I make it not an encoded query? Is that what I did? Yeah, I did it the wrong way around. Deck name is data bound, so I data bound the wrong thing. So what I want is where did it come from? Deck name, client states, deck name. There we go. Deck name, cool. And then, player is session user sysid. Apply, 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 save. I've got a good feeling about this. I think this is the one. Check test 6. Check 6. Check 6. SysID. Cool. Let's get rid of this guy because we don't need him anymore. Delete. And let's get it out of the, what's this thing up here? Bimodal. What's that thing? Stylized text. You can go to save. Create deck. Refresh. Check 7. Create deck. Cool. Alright, I think what I'm seeing here in this repeater thing is some ACL problems as well. So I think actually we need to go through for all of the player tables that the players might interact with, and we need to create ACLs that allow them to read them. And probably write to certain fields as well. So I think I've got to do ACLs read write when I am the player that is associated with the thing that needs to be edited. But that's good progress for today. We got the portal redirects all working. Users can get to the places that they need to get to. We almost got the deck creation ready, but I think we just need to do a big sweep of ACLs throughout the whole product to make sure that all the ACLs can be called by the players when they need to manipulate data, because they're going to be calling data resources and it's a secure platform. So that is it, I think, for today. Thank you so much to anybody who is watching this back. You're probably not, but it's good for me. It gives me an excuse to do this work and get it sort of running. Thanks very much. I will see you all next time.